Hello everybody, today we're going to do yet another lawn care test. What are we testing today? Today we're going to test Milorganite Fertilizer with Ironite from Pennington. What's going to be greener, longer, and which will be greener faster? Stay tuned, let's find out together. Welcome back, this is Mike with Jealous Lawn Care. And today, like I said earlier, we're going to test Milorganite versus Ironite. And the reason we're testing this is because one of my subscribers asked and say, hey, can you test these two products between greenness and how long they last? So, without further ado, let's get started. So, Milorganite, we all know, has a little bit of iron in it, along with the fertilizer. The iron levels is 2.5% versus Ironite has 20%. So it's a pretty big difference in iron levels. And the nitrogen in Milorganite is it's a 640. So 6 being nitrogen. And the Ironite is a 101. So obviously, if I had to guess, I would say that the Milorganite, given the fact that it has more nitrogen, it's gonna green up quicker. However, it is a slow release, so maybe it won't. Maybe it'll hold off long enough. But overall, the higher nitrogen in Milorganite should result in a quicker greening effect. However, that nitrogen level usually doesn't last very long, maybe a month or so, depending on what fertilizers you use. Some nitrogen levels will last longer than others. But the iron in here is only 2.5%, which is a lot more than most other fertilizers, if not all. Now, this is where Ironite comes in. So iron is the factor that gives your grass that really dark green, emerald green, even greenish bluish tint to it that we all love to have. And Ironite is supposed to last 3 months and give you that nice greening effect for a longer period of time. Given the fact that it's only 101, meaning it's only one nitrogen, versus the Milorganite, of course, I'm assuming the difference will be over a long period of time. That's what we're really going to compare. We're not going to compare the nitrogen levels, which greens up quicker. We're really talking about the longevity, which one's going to last longer or give it the darker green appearance than the other. So the spreader settings we're going to use on Milorganite is a 10.5. We all know that. And the Ironite is going to be a 3. So those are our spreader settings. And without any further ado, let's get started. Now, I will mention one thing before we start. So, I am currently working on a lot of tests right now in my backyard. Therefore, for my entire backyard, I have not used any weed pre-emergence, which you guys know I love using my weed and feed. I love the product. And no other weed pre-emergence have been done. And also, no fertilizers have been done. So, all of this backyard is fertilizer free. Therefore, we're going to compare Milorganite and Ironite, and on the sides, there's going to be nothing. And if you guys looked really hard, you can actually see there is a weed here. Gives you the proof that I have not used any weed and feed on my backyard. And also, it proves another thing, unfortunately, and you know what that is? Yes, my lawn is not thick enough to withstand the weeds by itself. Therefore, I was hoping it was. I was testing in my last test video that you guys saw earlier this year. Unfortunately, this will result in me using weed pre-emergence in the future. But that's okay. This is why we do these tests, for ourselves and for you guys. We should all continually be doing tests just like these and others to get us one step ahead of our competition, right? If we can save money on not using weed pre-emergence, let's do that, right? But that's enough of a tangent. Let's get started and put it down. Test number 1, Milorganite. And of course, we have our edge guard on, so we get that nice crisp line between the two. Again, edge guard on, and I'm going to go from the back this time just to make the edge guard actually work. This video will be a little bit longer than even my normal test videos, but I'm gonna try and cut it down from all the updates. We don't need to do a weekly update on this. You know, I may start out with a week or 2 weeks, but then I'm probably gonna cut off and go once a month, every month from then on. And then we'll see which of these lasts longer from the greening aspect. Because they say Ironite, according to Ironite, theirs is supposed to last 3 months. Question is it really true or is it not? And Milorganite, we're also going to find out. I've done test videos on these guys on Milorganite in the past. I hope you guys have checked out both of those, but we're going to test how long these actually last and actually see a difference in the lawn, if at all, right? All right, so here it's about a week later. I told you guys I'd give you an update, so here you are. We have our Ironite test versus our Milorganite, and I'm not sure what you guys are seeing from the video, but we're going to do a quick little walkthrough. But if you can see what I'm seeing, you guys can see this nice green strip versus you have a little bit of greening on this over here on this side, but it seems like the Ironite actually is greening up quicker, and that's a really dark green if I might say so myself. So we're going to do a quick little walkthrough. I'll just show an overview of both, but there's no real question about it that this is a nice green strip. Especially versus the unfertilized section. And you can see all the discolorations over there because of the non-fertilizer or anything used. But that is your walkthrough, and I'll show it quickly from the other side as well. Here is your Ironite side versus the Milorganite side. Not really a good angle. Can't really see much from this angle, probably because the sun is setting on that side of the house. But in the future weeks, we'll give you updates from every different angle you guys can want. So there's your quick little walk around. And again, this is only 1 week. We're not really testing the quickness, although technically we are right now because of that green, and bam, there it is. Just a dark green from that Ironite. It's beautiful. Didn't think it would react that quick, but you have your results right there after 1 week, and we'll check back in probably about a month or so, unless I see some reason for another update sooner than that. But we're going to test basically the longevity of that iron. So maybe Milorganite just takes a little bit longer versus the Ironite, which seems to be quicker reacting. And we know Milorganite is a slow release formula, so maybe it makes sense, but maybe it doesn't. I'll let you guys decide. I'm just doing a test for you. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next update. Alright, so here's the 1 month update of the Milorganite versus Ironite test. And right now you can already tell this strip right here that has the Ironite, it's actually quite a bit greener than the Milorganite section. So that is quite a bit of difference. Much darker green already. We'll do a little walkthrough here, but overall this is much consistently more green than the Milorganite. So stay tuned, and we'll give you future updates as we see differences. So I just wanted to give you a quick reference from the other side of the grass. So based upon where the sun is, this is not really a great angle, but just in case people wanted to see this, so you could tell this is a little bit still darker green. I'm not sure how well you can tell in this video, but it is a darker green. And we will continue doing updates. I'll probably do another update 1 month later, so we'll do 2 months for this test and see how long it's going to last. Welcome back to the final update video of the Milorganite versus the Ironite test that we're doing. And just to review, Some of you are skipping along, and that's perfectly okay. I have timestamps in all my videos in the first comment and also the description. So in case you skipped along, we actually did one strip of Milorganite, and down here we did one strip of Ironite. And this was a little over 2 months ago. So let's walk through. So this was done a little over 2 months ago. So by now the nitrogen definitely wore off in Milorganite, and the iron that's left over should really be the leftover main factor here. So I really don't see any differences between this. This is the non-fertilized section, this is Milorganite, and this is the Ironite. So looking at it here, I still see a little bit, just a hair shade of green darker than this other side. So Ironite seems to be winning in my opinion. Can you tell the difference also? This whole little strip is just, you know, a little bit greener in my opinion. Here's the view from the other side, like you know we love to see. Just in case it shows anything different. And then we'll go from the side also. So can't really tell too much different as far as the Milorganite kind of wore off already, as we expected, because it's mostly nitrogen with a little bit of iron. But again, even right here, you can see that little bit of green strip right there. It's just darker. So don't think there's any question about it. Now, maybe in the next video, what would be a good example would be to put down another strip, a third strip, with Milorganite and Ironite, and see how much darker green that is than the others, if at all. But who knows, right? So there you have it. This is one of the first times that I've used Ironite, to be honest. I don't really use too much specific, meaning just iron or just lime. I usually don't use too much of those type of products. I do on occasion when I use a soil test and it says, hey, you're low in one nutrient versus the other. But in general, I'm pretty standard with what I like to use in my product, in my grass. So I think based on these examples, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you guys can see that this is just that extra bit of greenness is actually more useful. And if it lasts, I mean, this is a little over, like I said, a little over 2 months, and it still has the greener shine still. So based upon that, I think I might actually use some Ironite in my normal lawn care program, just to make it that extra greenish blue tint. So hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. See you next time.